Hi everyone. My name is Chinelo, CEO Lorom Beauty Mart, where smart women shop their beauty essentials. And you're welcome to my channel. This is Grow with Loram, and I'm glad to have you here. And today I'm very excited. Okay, so last year, that was 2025, I made a decision to count everything in my shop. Clock it. Yes, it was a difficult decision to count everything I had in my shop. It was something I kept procrastinating, even though I knew I wanted to do it, but it was quite a daunting task, and I kept thinking of how to go about it. Actually, a series of things made me decide to do it. First, I had gotten a staff that year, and I felt like trust was enough. And so I just, you know, had that kind of blind trust kind of things because it felt like an uphill task to count everything I had in the shop, even though I knew it was possible because, what about supermarkets? Don't they count everything? And they count even the tiniest item. If they could maintain inventory, why couldn't I? Why shouldn't I? But it didn't just look easy, and it also looked like I wasn't prepared to sell with an inventory, not because I didn't want to. I actually craved to, but I felt like as a growing business and with the kind of environment where I was, it would look like I was doing too much, and I didn't want to look like I was doing too much. But something happened. We had an issue, a case of staff using their personal account to collect payments in the shop in my absence. So rather than use the business account, which is available for receiving all payments and for confirming all payments instantly, staff decided to use their own personal accounts to receive payment, and even cash was, moving past me without my notice, and sales were being made without recording them in the sales book. And in that kind of setting, you can only request for money that was recorded in the sales register. So even if you check the book and the you a particular something was sold, but it was not recorded in the book, there is no way you can ask the staff for the money because you're not even aware that that particular item was sold. And it's really not easy to keep track of every item that is here. Of course, I do notice when something it's I can notice that, oh, something is missing. This thing, but it's not, sometimes you don't have proof. You don't have proof. I have a CCTV camera in my shop. But of course, how many times would you sit down to watch a CCTV camera? And when you are not in the shop, would you spend your whole day watching the camera? For instance, the day that the incident happened, I went to market for market runs, so the staff was in the shop. So if nothing actually happens, it's really not that easy for you to just sit down and watch the camera sincerely when you have other things to do, especially as a small business owner who has to multitask. So um that was a major thing that made me, at that point I decided that it had been my decision initially, but because of the stress of managing the business alone, I decided to bypass that criteria. Initially, I had said that I wouldn't bring in a staff into my business until until I can track my sales with inventory. But the pressure was too much, like the daily pressure, the daily this thing, bringing out goods, taking in like for the shop extension. So it wasn't really easy. I eventually had to get a staff even without doing that. Then the incident that happened, and everyone that heard the story, everyone will be like, it's not easy for you to they if you bring a sales gear, that's what they will do. You can't know, how will you know all these things that are here? How would you know when they have taken something, all those kind of things? Why they said that, I nodded, but within me I knew it was possible, because one thing I always told myself is, if supermarkets can track everything, then why not? Another thing is, while I was battling with that and how to do it, sincerely I didn't want to put a system here, because where the shop currently is situated is where anything you do, which is actually supposed to be a normal thing, will be interpreted as you're doing too much, you're overdoing, you too do. So I was trying to avoid too many eyes on me. You get that kind of thing. Then on one sometime that same last year, after the incidents had occurred in my shop, I went to restock in the market. So I was interacting with one of my suppliers, and then of course, as my supplier, she had more products than me. And she had a lot of all these tiny, tiny products and all those things. And then she told me that she knows everything that is in her shop. And the striking thing here was that she wasn't selling with an inventory. No, she wasn't selling with a system. She was selling manually. And she said she knows everything in her shop and she has different shops. And at the shop, she was not telling me the shop at the other side, the shop at the other side. I know how much is there. I have the book every day. I said, you mean you balance your inventory every. She said when she comes, they track, they count, they do this, they do stock count, they do. I was like, if this woman that has more goods to manage than me and who is not educated as I am. I don't mean that as insulting. I mean in terms of exposure, I am exposed to technology and everything. I'm more tech savvy than her. That's the concept I'm bringing in. I'm bringing in here. She keeps inventory. She tracks her inventory, and she's doing this thing manually despite that she has more things to to manage, and she's doing this thing manually. How much more me that I have tech to help me. I have technology options, that kind of thing. I know ways that I can do this to manage this. Why would I not track inventory in my business? So if that happened like towards that around November thereabouts or October. So I just late October, November, or early November. I told myself this thing is a target I'm going to meet this year to track inventory in my business. So I started looking for options on how to do it and everything. I started looking for apps, started trying Excel sheets and everything. I tried different things sincerely. I downloaded a lot of apps. I did Excel. I tried for generating new Excel sheets and everything. But somehow I just felt the whole thing was still like not it wasn't giving, it wasn't going as it should go. It wasn't just moving, it was dancing, and the processes were not being automatic. When I tried to update the stock, sometimes the whole calculation will just scatter, the whole thing will just scatter entirely. It won't reflect. So I knew that there was bound to be trouble if I proceeded with all those things. So at some point I just left it, but deep within my heart I kept checking. I kept trying to find out what was what I could do about it. Like when I say last minute of the year, I just I kept I've been look I w- all the while I've been looking for an inventory this and I had already given up on it. But last minute of the year, 27th December, I won't even forget. I was already rounding up for the year. I'd done season sales and everything. I was just rounding up the season sales. I just found the perfect solution for me. It had this thing. It was all in one, like it was an all in one solution. So it managed inventory, it managed accounting, it managed when I say accounting, I could see my profit and loss reports. I could see profit and loss reports. I could manage inventory. I could sell from the app even without mounting a system in my shop. Like it's just amazing. It's amazing. So I could do all of that, and I could record sales, I could manage finances, I could manage accounts, transactions, see stock value, categorize my products, categorize, like a lot, record them, because I had seen options where I could record sales price, but I couldn't record purchase price, so I couldn't track stock value. So when I saw this other option I opted for, I jumped on that opportunity. I jumped on it, and I took that bold step. I began to count men and brethren. The counting was not here. it was an uphill task, seriously, because I'll attach a video of the shop, like, to this post. Like, it was something else. I had to start counting. I didn't know it was such a daunting task. So how I did it was, I I I took a book, like I took papers, and I would count and record. I recorded manually first. I had planned to give myself like some days break. So I just recorded. I was counting and recording. So it was during the break that I uploaded everything online on my inventory system. So I counted, I recorded, and I did all of that. It wasn't easy. People that saw me that time, they knew I lost myself. I lost myself. And everyone, people, I remember on one of those days I was counting, a manager in one of my suppliers' shop, came around, and when he saw me count, it was like, what are you doing? Yeah, he was surprised because he was like, wow, you took this bold step to do this. Oh, but they even bought me a soft drink that day, as it will encourage me. And the girl was happy. A girl was sincerely happy. So, but eventually I did it. At some point, one of my friends came over to help me because at that point, I needed help. I needed help. I needed help. So one of my friends came, brought me food, and then came and helped me to do the counting, because it was more like rearranging the entire shop. As I was counting, I was even seeing products I had that I did not know that I had. Like, customers had come to ask for those products, and I had said they were not available. Whereas I had like full packs. I saw some that I just bought full packs of. Whereas I had untouched full packs. It was something else. So during the break, yeah, I sold till 31st December. So it was from 1st January that I took a break. I took a break 1st January till like 4th. I think I resumed 5th. That was the first Monday of the year. That was when I resumed business. So within that period I was supposed to rest, this girl actually did not rest. I used it to upload my data on the inventory. I couldn't even finish. I had to, but I did majority of the work. So it was now, while I resumed work in January, I completed uploading the remaining ones. Now, what changed after I did this? First thing that changed was that I stopped selling blindly. I could easily confirm my prices. I could easily confirm my cost price, because by just looking at my phone, I could, if a customer was bargaining a price and I wasn't too sure, I could check easily, and without coming to look for invoices and start scattering and start looking for the particular invoice with which I bought that product and all of that. I could just check my phone and I would instantly see if I could sell to a customer at that price, or if I couldn't. It helped me. It actually helped me a lot. And when a customer comes to ask for something, it's easy for me to know if we have that product or not. Usually before, I would have to start searching, scampering, scattering, because the shop is, at this point, by God's grace, we are we have outgrown this shop. So we are actually managing a tight space right now. So most products are hidden. Yes. So instead of me scattering the entire shop looking for one product, I'll just effusively just take a glance, look into my phone, and I'll say, we have, oh, we don't have. That kind of thing. Even when it doesn't look like even when we can't see it, I'll tell you we have, and then we can now do the scattering and bring that stuff out rather than scatter and not find it. That kind of thing. So I stopped selling blindly. I stopped overstocking, and I could easily track products that were selling out fast and those that were not selling out fast. Before, I used to do that mentally, but now it's easier to do it with tech. So I know, oh, this is selling out fast. Oh, we're running out of this, because I could put stock alerts, IPS, on the inventory, so I get alerted before a product runs out. So instead of a customer coming to get something and then not meeting it, so when we know that this is a fast selling product, we could actually restock it before it goes completely out of stock. So it has even helped me. And another thing I love about it is that on the inventory I'm currently using, I have a space for notebook where I could record things that I want to restock. Previously, I used to record my restocking list on a notebook. So when I want to restock, I will now start typing them, into my phone to arrange them. But now I just have to copy and paste to my suppliers. It made it very easy for me. It made it very easy for me. And wherever I am, I can actually restock. If peradventure I mistakenly find myself in the market for any reason, I don't have to worry about not carrying my notebook, because I know that I could check, I could confirm. And even if I'm in the market and I see something that was not in my notebook and I am feeling like, should I get this or not, I can confirm immediately on my phone whether I still have enough stock or I should get that, or if the stock I have will not be enough before I come back to the market again. Things like that. And I now know how much my business makes on a daily basis. So whether there is sales or there is not, sometimes, so there's one thing I've realized. Some days you have high volume sales, but the profit might not be much, which means you sold them low value products. You sold a lot of low value products. But there are some days that you might feel like you didn't have much traffic in the shop, but you sold one or two odogu products, and by the time you look at the profit and loss report, you'll be seeing that everywhere is chill, like everywhere is good, that kind of thing. So it's another kind of motivation for me. And even when I'm setting goals and setting targets for my business, I can easily know, okay, my business made this. Before I used to know, okay, my business made these total sales, but I didn't used to know the profit. I just used to estimate the profit, but now I know the actual profit that the business made, and I could differentiate that from the sales. And then another thing I love is that before, other these things, the other accounting systems I used to use prior to now, I used to just have income and expenses. So both my purchases and expenses are recorded as expenses, and everything that comes in are recorded as income. But this time around, I can record income as in sales, and I can record investments gains, that is returns on investment, and I can record expenses. Like, so I have purchases, those are for restock, and I have expenses that includes internet, airtime, rent, um shop deals, things like that, packaging materials, marketing costs, office equipment. So I know exactly what is expenses, and I know exactly what is purchases. So I have a better view, a better angle, a better perspective on what my business is doing, on my business health and all. It's something that has really helped me. And of course, it's easier for me to manage stuff now, because my staff knows that madam knows what is going on. Madam knows what is in the shop. Let me see something I noticed though. After I took inventory of everything, I noticed that I have over 1,000 products in the shop. Now, when I say 1,000 products, I'm not talking about counting this like one, two, three. No, I mean this is Avanti perfume. Avanti perfume. I might have like six Avanti perfumes there, but I'm talking about Avanti as a product is one. I have another product here, Berries Weekend. That's one. So I'm counting variants, not quantity. In terms of product variants, like my shop has over 1,000 product variants. I'm not talking about quantity, because if you want to talk about quantity, out of those 1,000 products, out of those over 1,000 products, some products are 12, some products are 24, some are 26, some are 48, some are 100, some are 250, like in quantity for them. For instance, we buy Rick's body spray in carton, we buy confetti body spray in carton, and I think each of the carton comes like I think 98 or 96 in a carton. That's it, comes in 8 dozens a carton. So I'm not talking about that. So I mean, Rick's on its own now is one product, confetti is one product, irrespective of the quantity each of those variants are. So over 1,000 products. Imagine you trying to carry how many quantity of each of them in the shop. It's not possible. But with this, I didn't even realize. In fact, I didn't even realize how much my business had grown. I didn't even realize how much my business was holding. Like, it was so amazing. It was like I can't even find the word for it. So now I know what exactly is in the shop, and it's not easy for you to steal. If you steal, by the time we do stock counts, I will know that a product is missing. So that too has put everyone on their toes and has improved my business processes and operations. If you want me to mention the inventory system that I am using, let me know in the comment section. If you guys want to know about it, it will be my pleasure to talk about it. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please and please and please subscribe, please. Share this video. Let us grow together. Please subscribe, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.